Hello everybody, back here again for Vlog-A-Day, and today is Friday, January 3rd, and today was a beautiful sunny day outside, rather cold and crazy windy. It was absolutely ridiculous how windy it was. I had somebody talking about the fact that electric baseboard heat in the house. They walked in, both heaters running full blast, and the house was like literally cold. And normally thermostats are set at the exact same thing. It's just the wind is blowing like hell, and the house couldn't keep up. So one of those weird things that when you have this kind of wind, it just blows right through a house, blows vehicles around the highway, and all kinds of crazy stuff. I took a trip up to Des Moines today, hit Shields, bought some cold running gear, bought some new like $85 running tights, thermal, the heaviest duty ones they sold, and they are not any warmer than what my $15 pair were from like Kohl's and that. So they're going to go back. I also picked up a warm weather hat, which is going to go back because it's too damn small for my head and it pinches off the blood flow to my ears when I have headphones in. And that was like 27 bucks. And then I also bought a pair of gloves. They're the extra large, biggest ones they had in that brand from Under Armour. And even though they were fairly warm, they did not wick away the moisture. A couple times I pulled my hands out of them, and it looked like I'd been in the shower. Like your fingers get all wrinkly, and they were way too hard to get back on once I had my hand out of them. Like check my phone, and of course they were not smartphone ready, available, and they wouldn't even work my old crappy phone because the thumbs and the fingers were way too big to text on it. So definitely, they're going back also. So I spent like $158 today, or $157 at Shields, and it's all going back because the stuff was not worth a shit. So anyway, I mean, it's good stuff, whatever. If you had smaller hands or whatever, and it would wick way better if your ears weren't so big, I don't know, whatever the case was. So ended up deciding to go run my first of my 12 marathons for 2014 today. Tried to do it a couple days ago in the first, and that didn't work out for me. Got up there, and I was able to knock out 23.2 miles of it outside. I lost my light. It was getting dark on me out there, and I didn't know if I'd make another loop. And I sure as heck didn't think I'd make the full 3 miles left before I ran out of light. And the trails had melted off a little bit from the sun, and it was all icing up, and it was getting super unsafe. There's like a 2-mile loop around Grays Lake I was running after I'd ran all my big runs out and back. I was trying to basically just kind of do a loop. We'll let the dog warm up in the van, so I had left it running while I ran a 2-mile loop, which is about a 24-minute loop. And then I went ahead and stopped back in there, checked on him for a minute, and warmed myself up a little bit, and then went back out again. Came back, warmed up, and he was out. He'd come up and see me, and he'd jump out of the front seat where he was at. He'd go in the back for a minute. I would then grab something to drink, whatever, and take back off, because I wasn't running with a hydro pack at that point. I was just running the loops right there. Check on him. I'd shut the van off. Next loop, I'd start the van up, let the heater go back and forth. And I actually put my winter coat on for my last lap. Took off, like I said, I was losing sunlight, and just said, this ain't worth it. I found myself walking about a good quarter to half of the loop. And that's way too far to be walking. It's like a half mile to a mile of walking because it was so icy. It was treacherous to walk on. I found myself walking in the snow because I couldn't run on the trail. It was so icy because the sun had melted a little bit of the snow I was going across, and it was like freezing up, and the wind was blowing other snow across it, and it was like really rough but super slick at the same time. It was the craziest thing. I'd never really experienced it before, and it was freezing weirdly because that much wind. We had like 20, 22 mile-an-hour winds, I think I was hearing gusts of, they were saying, and the wind chill was just insane. I started really having a hard time. My nose was starting to burn. It was really like inflamed. The mask I had on, when I'd pull it up over my nose real good, it would fog my glasses up. So I'd have to pull it down, leave it on my bottom lip only down, because if not, it'd fog my glasses up. I ran a large part of the time, probably, I don't know, maybe a good 45 minutes to an hour of the run. I would take my glasses off and then put it in my pocket and then pull the mask way up over my nose to warm my nose back up a little bit. And that worked for a while until I got to where I needed to read signs and stuff, and going in and out of the sun and that was kind of a pain in the butt. My glasses are photo gray, and that's what I like to run in. So I put them back on again. I'd run for a while and take them back off, and just back and forth stuff. So I got done at the lake. I finally just had the hell with it. It's just way too cold. It was just miserable. Took the dog out, let him go to the bathroom. And then from there, I headed over to the gym. The nearest gym to the lake, according to the TomTom, apparently is out of business, closed up or something. Not really sure what the case was there, so I said to hell with it, and just headed on towards home. With the next gym was like 12 miles away, but at least on the direction home. The other one was like 10 miles away, but it was opposite direction of home. and stopped in there at Carlisle, I think the little town is. Ended up knocking out 3.1 mile on the treadmill. I wanted to make sure I overshot it in case my GPS was off a little bit or my mind had forgot how far I ran. So ended up doing my full marathon. Technically, a lot of guys are going to say, oh, I cheated because I took a break in the middle. But so what? I did this for me. I ran a full marathon in one day. To hell with you people. Cold as it was, I wasn't willing to risk losing my nose and shit over it. Plus, I'd went through 4 pairs of gloves already that I'd sweated through completely, and they were getting so cold I couldn't put my hands back in them, and they weren't warming up. And then it was one of those weird things where I was already through 2 pairs of socks, and my shoes were wet, and I was done. So I figured it's better than nothing. I knocked it out on the treadmill. A lot of guys run a full marathon on a treadmill in the winter. They won't even venture outside in this kind of junk. Part of me that kind of really thought about what I should have done is went and ran, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 miles on the treadmill to begin with, and then basically changed into my cold weather gear, headed out, and then ran, I don't know, another, basically at that point I need to run like 14 or so, and then go back in and finish another 6 or so on the treadmill at the end. And that's probably what I'll do next time if I have to do a cold weather run, if I can't get out somewhere like Vegas or somewhere down south warm, so I can run my next one. So I got to figure out where to run my February one. Possibly my March one's going to be cold too. April will be a little chilly. But I'm going to probably do that one on the Drake half relay. And I'll probably do the full the rest of the day. I'll probably, somewhere there I'll go up and run my half, try and put in a decent time. And I'm going to try and really just bust out a fast time there at Drake and then have to worry about doing a full later on the month. Or if I wanted to say to heck with it, run a little bit slower time, but then run another half on the way home somewhere. Stop off and run another half marathon. So who knows? I'll figure it out by the time. I got a while. It's not till April. So I got plenty of time there. Did make the drive home. Stopped at a Taco Bell and grabbed myself something to eat there. Not the best after run food, but what the hell? It's after a run. I can eat anything I want. I've got over 3,100 some calories left each day, and I was already 775 over my allotted limit before I punched in my running time. So definitely I can eat any damn thing I want the rest of the day. But not sure it's going to go on tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully run up and grab myself a new iPhone. Haven't figured out doing that tomorrow or Sunday. But we'll get it figured out here pretty soon. And other than that, not a lot going on. So, oh yeah, P.S. The drive home absolutely sucks after running a marathon. I was miserable. My feet hurt. My ankles hurt. My knees hurt. All that good crap. My back's sore. Just the whole body's painful. And your mind's a little mushy after running a marathon. So it was definitely a fun drive home. And the wind blowing, like I said, 15, 20 mile an hour gust was blowing my van all over the place too. So that's all I know for now. Talk to you guys later. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.